If you know this, American Express will approve you when other banks won't. But there's one detail that decides if American Express pulls your credit hard or doesn't pull your credit at all. And it can change the entire approach. Amex can be one of the friendliest major banks in this whole strategy. Generally, if set up correctly, they are the most generous on credit line increases, and they hand out 2 solid 0% interest business credit cards, and for the right applicant, they barely touch your credit report, if at all. But the right applicant is doing one specific thing, and if they're not that applicant yet, you fix it before you apply. I'm going to show you the soft pull rule that decides everything. The 2 cards you apply for on the same day for 0%, the limit increase generosity that makes Amex a long-term machine, and a lifetime offer rule that lets you re-earn bonuses most people think they've burned forever. The soft pull rule first, because it dictates your whole sequence. Amex pulls your credit differently depending on if you're already a customer. If you are already a customer through an American Express personal card, Amex will often pull your credit with only a soft pull when you apply for additional cards, meaning applying for the business credit cards will result without a hard inquiry on your credit report. So no damage to your file, and the cards don't even report. If you're brand new to Amex with no existing cards, they do give you a hard inquiry on your credit report like everyone else. So the move is obvious. Become an Amex customer on the personal side first. Get a personal Amex card, hold it, build a little history on this card, and you want to avoid the Amex Personal Gold or the Personal Platinum. Since they are charge cards, they don't report a limit to your credit profile. I'll tell you soon on why this is significant. Instead, think of their co-branded credit cards as a much better option, like the Amex Marriott card, Amex Hilton card, or the Amex Delta Gold card. Then when you apply for the business cards, you're already an existing customer getting soft treatment. You're only getting a soft hard inquiry, applying for free with no cost of an inquiry. And this is why in the bank sequence, American Express comes early if you're already a customer, and later after Chase, Bank of America, etc. if you're not. Now the cards, 2 business credit cards, both at 0% interest for 12 months with no annual fee. The Blue Business Plus and the Blue Business Cash. And here's the move. You apply for both of these cards on the same day. So it's 2 cards, 2 approvals, ideally between $15,000 and $25,000 on each card. And here's one tip from running the strategy a lot with thousands of my clients. Amex tends to give the cleanest instant approvals later in the day after 7 p.m. Eastern with an online application. For some reason, we've just seen a significantly higher percentage of instant approvals when the applications are submitted in the evening. It's a small thing, but when you're optimizing every edge, you want to apply in the early evening to get the highest chance of an instant approval. And because you're applying as an existing customer, getting the soft pull treatment and doing the 2 applications same day, this is how you stack on 2 business credit cards at good limits, instant approvals with no additional hard inquiry. And that's the quiet beauty of running Amex as a current customer. 2 new 0% cards, potentially up to $50,000 of combined credit limits, and these cards don't report to your personal credit profile because they're business credit cards. However, if you're not an existing customer, they generally pull from Experian. So just a heads up, you want to have your Experian credit bureau the cleanest before applying for American Express, because they will, well, in general, if they give you a soft pull, they're going to look at Experian. And if they give you a hard pull, they're going to give you a hard inquiry on Experian. So you just want to make sure that your Experian report is as clean as possible before applying for Amex. Clean as possible, I mean having at least a 720 score, no more than 2 hard inquiries in the last 6 months, your utilization under 30% on each of your personal credit cards, and ideally no late payments in the last 2 years. This is how you optimize for the best approvals at American Express. And when you get the personal credit card first, you're building that credit relationship with them before the business credit cards. So you build that credit relationship and optimize the rest of your personal credit report, and then you apply for the business credit cards. This is how you actually get big limits. If you skip the personal credit optimization and you skip building a credit relationship with them and go directly with the business credit cards, that's where people get the low $2K limit. You do not want a low $2,000 limit. You want to get a big limit. So get the personal credit card first, build the trust on the personal card, and then go for the business credit card. And then when you get the business credit cards, every 6 months, you can call the status and limit line 1-800-567-1083 and ask for a credit line increase. Most of the time, they grant it on just a soft credit pull. So again, no hard inquiry. And generally, I've seen credit line increases between 2x the limit to 3x. So if you have a $10,000 limit on this card, you can generally get a 3x multiple, bringing your 10K limit card on the business card up to 30K. If the limit is higher, like 20 or 25,000, I've seen a 2x to be the most realistic. So if you're at $20,000 limit, going from $20,000 on the card to $40,000 becomes realistic if you've been building that credit relationship. So every 6 months, you can call that number and ask for a credit line increase. And to make this credit line increase even easier to get, the more spend that's on these cards and the more on-time payments, the better. So use this card in your business, at least like the 60 days leading up to the credit line increase, and then request the CLI, the credit line increase. One of my students, Moses, is a great example of what stacking these mid-limit cards can add up to. He pulled together 5 business credit cards for a total of $87,000 in combined credit limits, just on these 5 mid-limit cards. And he used those cards to launch an Amazon and Shopify e-commerce store, and he used that money to scale the operation. So no single card was huge, but stacked together, it was enough capital to start 2 businesses in e-commerce for what he did. That's the American Express lesson in miniature, okay? You don't need to get a big $75,000 limit. You can stack multiple cards for a large combined credit limits between the cards. So you don't have to chase for a large one giant limit. You're assembling a fleet of clean 0% cards that total real money that you can deploy into your business and bring that business to the next level. And then as time goes on, you can request credit line increases to increase the credit limits on each of these cards. And one thing to respect is American Express is a score-first bank. They care about your credit score more than almost any other bank. The floor is 720, but once you get to 750, it really becomes easier to get approved for these cards, and not just get approved, but actually get the best treatment and get the best limits. If your score dips, Amex is the first bank to get nervous because they run routine soft credit pulls. So if they approve you for a big limit and then do a routine soft credit pull later, they actually can reduce your limit. So you want to make sure you not just build strong personal credit, but you want to maintain the strong personal credit so the banks don't decrease your limit later. Now, here's the rule that almost nobody knows, the lifetime offer rule. Normally, American Express gives you a sign-up bonus and an intro 0% interest period once per card ever. You open the card, you take the bonus, and then you can never earn that bonus again on the card, except there's fine print on the Amex offers that reads roughly, you may not be eligible for the welcome offer if you had this card before. That sentence is what locks you out. But that sentence is not always present. When Amex serves you the offer that's missing the you might not be eligible language, that's your signal. You can re-earn the sign-up bonus and the 0% intro on this card, even if you held it before. And a lot of times, Amex will send you a targeted offer either in the mail or inside the Amex app under the offers section if you're already a customer. So before you assume you're permanently burned on this card and you can't get the 0% interest again, you want to check the terms and conditions of the offer that American Express sends you. And this is actually pretty unique to American Express. Other 0% cards in the industry at different banks, Chase, Bank of America, all the other banks, you can get the 0% cards over and over and over. But American Express treats the 0% interest as a welcome bonus, and they treat it as once in a lifetime unless it lacks that specific language we've been talking about. So at Chase, for example, you can get as many 0% cards over time as possible. But at American Express, you need to receive a targeted offer that doesn't include that language. So something to consider. And I've seen a lot of people miss out on these bonuses and entire 0% intro periods because they're not taking advantage of these targeted offers. They're either applying for the card again and not getting the 0%, or they just think they only can get it once and they never try again. So make sure you look at these offers that are sent to you and take advantage of this specific strategy. For the application specifically, the Amex numbers that we have seen to do the best on applications for the best approvals and limits is 4 to 7 employees, business revenue of about $450,000 of projected business revenue, and monthly spend for an estimate on the card, about $31,000. And for people who have total income of about $150,000 of personal annual income, those people I've seen to maximize the limits on the cards. And the same principle as always. The income should just be as high enough to justify a real limit so you don't trigger the documentation request of proof of income. So they don't look at tax returns, they don't ask you to connect your bank account, etc. And here's also a bonus. Since American Express is also the best points bank, the trifecta I use is the American Express Business Gold for 4x points on advertising, software, dining, and office supplies. And it gives you 4 points per dollar spent on the top 2 spent categories on every single month. And then for anything business related, I put that on the Chase Business Reserve card because that card earns me 4 points per dollar spent on travel and even more if I book the travel in the Chase portal, but I don't always do that. But you definitely want to have one of the best travel cards if you have travel expenses. And then next, I have the American Express Blue Business Plus card. This card is the same card we've been talking about that earns 0% or that gives you 0% interest for 12 months, but it also helps you earn 2 points per dollar spent on everything spent on that card. So if it's advertising, you put it on the Amex Gold. If it's business dining, you put on the Amex Gold. If it's travel, you put on the Chase Business Reserve card. And if it's everything else, you put it on the Blue Business Amex Plus card and you earn 2 points per dollar spent on everything. So separate game from funding, but one of the best funding cards pulls double duty on points because it earns great points on this card at a bank that earns you bank transferable points like American Express, which is incredible. And here's one rule to protect yourself the second you start collecting those points. If you ever go to close an Amex membership rewards card, a card that earns you the points, make sure another MR card is still open first, because if you close the last one, you're gonna lose all of your Amex points. But if you still wanna close it, at least transfer those points from American Express to a travel partner before you close the card, just so you don't lose all of your Amex points. Because the moment you close your last MR card, every point in the account goes to zero. And people torch hundreds of thousands of points all the time if they cancel the last card without moving the points out first. But one great thing with the Amex Business Blue Plus card is there's no annual fee on this card. So you can just keep this card open, keep your points, and not worry about losing your points because Amex has this zero fee card. So I just want to make sure you never lose your points. So keep that in mind. You have to have an account open at American Express. You need to have a card open so you don't lose your points. And another super cool thing about American Express is they're the only bank that allows you to move personal credit limits to business credit cards. And not many people know this. But if you get a good limit on the personal credit card, you can then later move some of that available limit from the personal credit card at American Express to a business credit card at American Express. So say, for example, you get approved for a $25,000 personal credit card at American Express. And then say a couple months later, you get approved for a business credit card at American Express for $20,000. Well, you can move $20,000 from the personal credit card over to the $20,000 business credit card right when it opens. And now you have $40,000 of 0% interest business credit instead of just $20,000. And this right here can be an absolute game changer when you can increase the amount of 0% interest business credit that you get. So pull it together. First, get the Amex personal credit card. So one, you become an existing customer. So when you get the business credit cards, they're only going to soft pull you. You start to build that credit relationship with them. And then later on, you can move that personal credit limit over to the business credit card. And when you're ready for the business credit cards, apply for the Blue Business Plus and the Blue Business Cash in the same day in the early evening. And then you want to keep your scores above 720, ideally above 750 if you can. And then every 6 months, call for a credit line increase. And check every offer for that missing exclusion line so you can re-earn the bonus on these cards on an ongoing basis that most people think is just not available to them. So American Express, they want to say yes on approving these cards. You just need to do a few things first to give them a good reason to approve you on these cards and for good limits. And if you want to watch my hour-long masterclass video on business funding, click this video right here on the screen. It covers everything from A to Z on how to optimize your personal credit report to the T before applying, how to build the best, strongest relationships with the right banks, and I even walk through 3 client case studies to show you what their credit profile looked like, what recommendations I gave to them, what business credit cards they applied and got approved for, and shows you what what exactly their results were. Someone got approved for $90,000, $150,000, and even or closer to $200,000. So click this video right here on the screen and check out that free masterclass. A ton of super good value. But regardless, I hope you got some great value from this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Give me a like if you did get some value from this video, and I'll see you in the next.